everybody. Check out my GQ pose. All right. Obviously, I'm not good at that, but I am good at PDQ deploying inventory. Today, Jordan and I are going to be doing your Q&A, answering your questions as best we can, and then hopefully somebody in the chat will correct us if we're wrong. So should we jump in, guys?
Well, if we're looking at the bright side,
Yeah.
I'm not on camera, so if things go poorly, I can just sit here quietly while you sit on camera looking bad.
Well, that's every week we do, or every time we do Q&A. Like, oh, one of us has got to look at.
Are you ready
embarrassed, maybe? I don't know.
First question?
First question.
Let's do a question.
Here we go.
All right, let's dive in. Dear Lex and Jordan, I have an OU with all the servers. I want to add PDQ just for inventory purposes, which is the best way to avoid any deployments to that OU by mistake. German P.
The porpoises, they go good with tuna. Ooh, did I just say that? I'm just kidding, guys. All right, so you want to prevent deployments to an OU.
So I don't know of a built-in way. There's probably a couple ways that we can work around.
Let's go show a way. If you go to Options and Deploy and Preferences, you go to Target Filters. Now, you can't put an OU in here. I tried it the other day. And anytime you put any characters in here, like OU anything, you'll notice it says host name. So if that is a OU that doesn't change a lot, you can go in here and put in all the host names or, derivatives of, like with wildcards, and you can prevent deployments to those. You can do it by IP. So if that OU is in a certain IP range, you can do it that way. But as for OU itself, Jordan, I guess you could make a dynamic collection of these and then exclude them.
Include in each one.
In each package, yeah.
Depending on what they wanted to do. Yeah, like I said, if it's a pretty static OU, then these options work. If you're looking where it's a constantly changing one, your best bet is to probably use PowerShell. So you're going to want to do a SQL query against the inventory database for everything that's in the target filters currently, all the computers in there, and then a AD query grabbing every computer in the OU, and then do a comparison.
You're going to end up comparing it right into the database, aren't you?
So you can do a compare. So if column 1 has something that's no longer in the OU, it can remove it from the target filter, and if it's in column 2, it can add it to the filter. Okay,
here's the scary thing about that, right? You are going to end up right into the database at that point, right?
Yes.
So when you're right into the database, guys, you've got to be careful. There is a chance.
That is the only way I can think to dynamically update the filter list with everything in OU. If it's, like I said, if it's a pretty static OU, it's less of a concern, but if it's constantly changing, like if that's like your staging area for building new machines, then you're definitely going to need something like that, which is not the best, but it's the best I can think of.
I'm going to, that's a dynamic way to do it, but for safety-wise, I would go add them in target filters. Maybe check it once a week if your stuff works on the weekend. But
technically I added in target filters too, just with some zazz.
You made it so you didn't have to use your fingers and the keyboard?
I don't want to do stuff manually.
Yeah, okay, I don't blame you. But, there's that corrupt the database thing I'm always worried about. So,
I suppose, yeah. And then as Jeff in the chat said, syncing all the AD except for that OU does work unless you still have to send some things to it, just not ones.
There you go.
But even then, with the target filter, you have to do the switching around. So, I don't know. Maybe that one would be best.
Yeah, maybe.
Next question.
Hey, Lex and Jordan, is there a way to install the feature update silently for Windows 10 with PDQ? Sincerely, Chad M.
So we're jumping from 1909 to 2004 or one of the others, right? Okay, so we've got a video on this. Can you do it? Yes. Okay, there's some caveats involved. Okay, so first of all, we can't suppress the reboot in there. With that being the case, let's say you upgrade a slow machine and a fast machine. Okay, fast machine, you know what it does that reboot and does that 30% done, 40% done, ticks through that. Well, let's say the fast machine gets done before the timeout happens, you're going to get a success, right? And then the slow machine, let's say it doesn't, and it times out, you're going to get a failure at that point. So we're giving you bad data, but the slow machine actually probably finished. So we don't like giving you bad data. The other thing is this. You ever had any driver update errors and blue screen one of those? So, and if you're going to do it, which you can, and I'm going to show you, if you go here and you go to our forums and knowledge base. And then you search for feature upgrades. And you can find out how people have done it, and it does work. Again, just remember when it comes to automation, okay?
The reason we don't have any blogs or information on showing how to do this, it's in our forums that people have done it. We don't have it because we can't guarantee the work.
There you go. But it can be done. Just remember, automation can do a lot of good really fast and can do a lot of bad really fast. So if you're going to do it, I would suggest you do it in chunks. So instead of having a really bad day, you have kind of a bad day. So.
Hey, Lex and Jordan, or morning, afternoon here in the UK. I have a question. Is there a way to get BitLocker recovery keys to be viewable or to service desk personnel who do not have access to the PDQ? Thanks, Jason C.
So, getting recovery keys, I'm just flat out no. We can't decrypt BitLocker recovery, keys, those kind of things. We do have some BitLocker information in regards to, I believe it's drives, disk drives. So, am I in the right place? See BitLocker protection, whether it's on or off, those kind of things. But to be honest with you, we can't decrypt that. So, if you don't have those keys, you can't. I guess, Jordan, anything?
I'm not familiar enough with BitLocker to have any ideas outside of that.
So.
I know you can do some things with BitLocker and PowerShell, but I can't speak to those.
All right.
Dear Jordan and Lex, in the Deploy Once screen, is there a way to remove targets automatically that don't have good DNS resolution or are offline? Thanks, Brandon V.
All right, Brandon. Reader DC, Deploy Once screen. Is there an easy way to remove those? Huh? Well, there's an easy way. I mean, I guess you could, okay, you can write a dynamic collection that excludes any machine that's offline, and then I guess you'd have to start doing multiple, it's like you do an offline, anything that's offline, and then you build a collection that says, give me anything that's part of offline and part of, in this case, I think Adobe Reader DC, or excluding those, they don't have those. That's one way to do it.
But the offline online is also based on the latest heartbeat. I mean, we have the option that
That's a good
says
point.
ping before scan, where if it comes back with no result from the ping, it will just cancel a lot faster so it doesn't try.
Oh, that's a good point. So options, preferences. Thanks, Jordan. Performance. Nope. Deployments.
And then there's another
offline.
one there where if it is asleep, it will actually send a magic packet, try to wake it up. And if that works, it will scan. If not, it will exit. But that way it should exit out quicker.
There you go. Ping before deployment. That would be on the options, preferences, deployments page right there. JJ, I used the highlighter.
I'm so
I have
happy.
to point that out because he always gets after me for not doing it.
I haven't gotten after you for a while. You
Okay, I feel guilty
You're
for
now
not
you're
using
now
it?
in a Pavlovian response to the highlighter, which makes me happy.
It's like,
I'm
where's
just-
my
I'm gonna
reward?
just start drooling every time I use a highlighter.
Where's my treat?
Take a sip.
Yeah, there you go.
We got another question?
Yep.
Hey guys, is there any way to deploy to a client as soon as they become a member of a specific collection without a heartbeat or time schedule in deploy? Thanks guys, I appreciate your Q&A sessions. Keep up the good work. Sincerely, Chris.
Chris,
Without a heartbeat?
without a heartbeat, I mean, that's kind of like a trigger, right? Like a bit of database trigger.
Yeah, so I mean, you could set the schedule to as aggressive as you want and then just check the box that says don't scan if it's been successful. And then a way it's going to try
Let's
often.
see how aggressive we can set that. So we'll do it on an interval. You can do it in, I guess you can run it every minute.
At that point, it's going to have already deployed everything, so it's going to try to deploy a lot, but it's mostly not going to, and it will find
It's
it
gonna
relatively
fail,
quickly,
yeah.
but it's going to be noisy.
Yeah, I wouldn't suggest it. I mean,
Your network team's probably going to have a talk about, hey, what's this?
yeah, you get a finger wagging. Without, database triggers and that, without a heartbeat, no, there's no easy way to do that.
Yeah, I mean, with a heartbeat, as long as you also have the don't deploy if it has,
Yeah.
then that won't be a lot of noise, and it will, as soon as it shows up online in that collection, work for you.
Yeah. Stick with the heartbeat on that one.
Dear Lex and Jordan, I'm a new customer. Is software metering on the roadmap? Suggestions for how to monitor software usage? I was looking at configuring sysmon, ProcessCreate, blah blah, nerd, to only log certain processes, firefox.exe, when they are started, and use the Powershell scanner to harvest the event log. Thoughts? Sincerely, Sexy Steve L.
Hey,
Sexy Steve.
Steve, I love it. You know, PowerShell scanner, Jordan. I mean, I don't know, man. What's your thoughts?
I mean, I've done some things looking at like the executable. You can tell the last time that the file was executed, but not necessarily how long it was running.
Okay.
If you can find that with PowerShell, I would have to look into that. I can't. I don't know off the top of my head for that one.
And
So everything that I found so far when you're looking at files is it was last executed at this time, not it ran for.
so
Yeah.
many
Yeah.
minutes or whatever. Yeah. I'm gonna go with.
It means we have to drink.
Definitive answer? Meh.
I don't have to drink, but I'm going to.
You get to.
I get to. Thank you.
Hey guys, I'm looking for how to pull a report from PDQ inventory of the PCs that have Office 2016 by OU. I have one of all the PCs, but it would be nice to have it broken down by department OU. Is it possible then to automate the schedule of those updates and deploy from inventory? Thanks in advance, Mallory P.
So, Mallory, you can automate those, but you can want to automate those from collections, not a report. And the great thing, you build a report, you should be able to export the filters, but without remembering exactly, you want it by OU, right? So basically you're looking for software by OU, right? So we got computer. Let's look for computer. Let's see if I've got Active Directory. Path would have that, wouldn't it? The OU it's in.
I think so.
So we'll go path or parent path. Let's try path. And then we'll add the app table and app name. And then I'll just filter it for 7-zip at this point, because I know there's some 7-zip out here.
I'm pretty sure my PowerShell removed all those last week.
I got rid of all my 7-zips.
Oh no, we
did
didn't
ya?
do 7-zip. We decided to go somewhat different direction.
All right. So there is my path. New computers. Okay, so Beth is in the OU new computers. So I guess at this point, if I group by the AD path, I should have my different
Someone in the chat says you want the parent path.
parent path. Phew, all right.
I'm glad someone
Somebody.
who's watching us knows how our product works, because we have no
Hey,
idea.
timeout, man. I was gambling and I picked path. Either one of those. Well, there you go. Apparently, they're much more right than I am. Is that? Yeah. Hmm? There you go, computers domain. So add that parent path into your reports, and then you group by it, and there you go. There's 7-zip, and obviously you're going to need to do obviously the software you're looking for, which was Office. And then deploying to this, you're going to want to do dynamic collections based off of parent path and OUs. So there you go.
Dear Lex and Jordan, how good is it if I push PDQ client on my endpoints? Currently, I am not getting correct reports from dynamic reports. Thanks, Gopal U.
I'm a little confused. Jordan, any?
So is he saying that he basically has it set up as a server with clients, and he's installing the clients on each endpoint?
Yeah, okay. So if you're doing the install and you got server and client options, that client is to work with your central server. So that'd be a console on your machine pointing to your central server. I'm a little confused still on what the question is. Maybe a little more clarification as to what is it you're trying to do there. So.
Okay. Here's kind of, well, not exactly a follow-up, but it's Gopal. He would like to know how we can fetch the Windows key from PDQ inventory.
Fetch the Windows key from PDQ inventory. You know, we can do a WMI query. If you go to our YouTube page, and I would do this live, but I can't remember. And I know if you do, inventory scanners, right? So we're going to look up scanners.
So
Go ahead.
in bonus content, there's hardware and software audits in our GitHub. there is a scan profile for MS keys.
Yep.
So it looks like it's looking in software licensing product for the WMI. And you're grabbing the description, the partial product key in the license family, but I don't think that grabs the full.
It grabs partial product key, yeah.
Yeah.
So that video where the inventory scanners, Microsoft product keys, that will pull the partial product key. Here's the interesting thing about that. If you don't, I'm going to warn you, there's a where clause in there that I cannot remember off the top of my head. If you don't use that, that scanner is going to run forever, like 40 minutes per machine. So that's the video to watch to grab partial product keys. It'll at least get you, part of the way there. So that's what I do.
Dear Lex and Jordan, in testing Microsoft's flash removal tool, it seems to leave a lot of flash behind, all over the hard drive, including in SXS. Do you have a better way to completely remove flash from computers, including all browsers and the control panel? Thanks, Billy Z.
So I would use this uninstall flash player. And the nice thing, let me download that. That is actually the flash uninstaller from Adobe that we packaged up for you. Uninstall flash, so here you go. So basically, we're just running the uninstall flash player from Adobe at that point. The other thing you do, last week we shot a webcast, and Jordan's got PowerShell that'll actually go and look for it and remove it. So if that doesn't work for you, which it should, there's another option. Have PowerShell do it for you.
Yeah, I'll put the link to that script. And fair warning on that one, I have as the default for that one asterisks for everything. That will remove everything. Make sure you actually put the product looking uninstall in
You
the
have
app
a bad
name.
day if you
or it's-
run that.
Or it will remove it all.
Wow. All right. You probably ought to comment that out just so if
I'll
someone
go in and make an adjustment. Yeah.
doesn't read it correctly, yeah. So, yeah, uninstall Adobe Flash Player from our package library. That's where I go.
So
first.
I'll go in there and I'll put a placeholder in there instead of just leaving that. I just got to think about that. The way it says, if you run it as is, which I mean, don't run
don't do
PowerShell
that.
without reading it. But if you do, it's going to try to remove everything. Everything that's an MSI will remove. Everything that is not will attempt to, but won't have a silent parameter. So I'm gonna fix that.
Comment that one. Put a something in there. Yeah.
Hey guys, I have some machines that I can't install .NET 4.8 on. Am I stuck on 19.0.40.0 forever? Thanks, Dagganoth R.
Hey, buy new machines. I don't, honestly, if you can't get .NET 4.8 on there, I mean, are you going to be stuck? I would imagine you would if on those specific machines, Jordan. I'm going to have to defer this. I'm not sure.
I mean, if he can't install it,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's necessary for the newer versions of the product.
So it's necessary. I don't know. I try. I mean, hand install it. I mean, I don't know why it wouldn't install.
Well, I guess the question is, it says that he can't. Does that mean it's not working, or if for some reason he can't go to 4.8 on the machine?
Oh,
There's two
okay.
options there.
Yeah. You got to have it for the new versions.
The new version, yeah. So if you can't because it's not updated automatically with the settings you have in inventory where it automatically installs it, you might have to go in and try to do that manually.
Okay.
If you can't because those machines can't have it, then just inventory is not going to work
For those machines.
for those ones.
Yeah.
Looks
At
like
least on the newer versions.
he followed up in the chat. So, yeah.
It's a leading question. Latest better drop the requirement to 4.6.1.
Oh,
All right, thank you.
Read the chat.
All right, we ready for another question?
Never. Okay, yeah, we're always ready.
Lex, what's cooking in the PDQ kitchen for 2021? Marcel.
Hey,
L.
Marcel. So, I don't know. Do we give away our idea?
Lasagna.
So I think I
Well,
was
that would
going to
be a
try to do Spam Wellington.
I think what
Next
we
year?
are, yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to have a little cooking contest because, you see the kids on the cooking contest? Like, I'm going to cook. So this next year, Jordan and I are going to have a little contest, and you're doing Spam Wellington?
Yep, I have the recipe in my mind
Nice.
on how I'm going to get it to work.
I think I'm going to do rack of Spam.
Rack Spam.
By the way, it's a PD kitchen, and with the kitchen starts with a Q. So,
It's kitschy.
Kitchen starts with a Q.
yeah.
Yeah, so stay tuned, guys. It should be good. Hey, if you get
PDQ
to vote,
quiche?
vote for me because
PD
my
quiche.
ego can't handle
PD
losing
quiche.
always.
I think we do an episode where the two of you get the same spam ingredients and let you go to town.
And it's a competition show.
Yeah, it's
Can
like
it
an Iron
at least be a
Chef sort of.
physical thing? Because I really think I can probably knock Jordan down at least once and steal his stuff.
Wait a minute. In a cooking competition, you have the base ingredients you can use, but then you have access to the PDQ kitchen to add whatever you want.
The PD kitchen.
The PD kitchen.
PD Kitchen?
So, I mean, because if we're going to limit the same ingredients, it's really going to, I don't know how I'm going to do my Wellington.
Dude, I'm going to, we'll just be in there sculpting stuff out of
Yeah,
spam.
in absolute confidence, I'm going to say my dish will be near palatable.
And rack of spam, think of that. That is going to be delightful.
Whoever is closest to palatable wins.
Hey, the pie wasn't that bad, honestly.
I'm going to disagree with you.
Kelly, I bet you it was.
And
I
gotta
cook 'em mean.
I got to be glad. I am so glad I'm the guy cooking it because I never had to eat any of that stuff. Man.
Oh,
It
you
was-
didn't even try it?
No.
Ooh,
I was
wow.
I was supposed to be the sous chef in that one, but then we weren't allowed to be
Within
side by
certain
side.
space, yeah.
If people out there don't know what we're talking about, go to our YouTube and type in PDQ Thanksgiving. There is a cooking show wherein Lex uses only spam. Well, not only spam,
Well.
but that's the primary.
I make some fine Thanksgiving dishes with the most awesome canned meat ever.
We'll do a 5-star petite spamion.
That's, ooh,
I like that.
bacon wrapped spam.
All right, stay
Filet
tuned for
spam
November 2021. Next question.
Hey guys, the built-in PDQ inventory collections for the various Flash for IE do not take into account that KB blah blah blah, which disables Flash IE, is installed. Will the built-in collection get a modification to address this? Thanks, Mark H.
Well, let's see. Pull this bad boy up. Flash under runtimes. There's Flash. You know, I am pretty sure in the next couple of weeks before the end of the month, since Flash is going away, the Flash packages are gone. And I imagine these will be updated or gone eventually. So, yeah, those will get updated.
So I believe we have the pre-built ones, and then I'm looking for, I thought we had a blog somewhere where we built different collections that weren't are the pre-built ones, but I'm looking for that, and I could be wrong.
Could be wrong.
I think Brock went through and did all that hard work, and I'm like, don't worry about it. We have those pre-built ones. So, sorry.
So, are you apologizing?
I'm the one that told him to change it up.
Change it up. So, I'm sure they're going to be updated. Absolutely.
Dear Lex and Jordan, is there a way to convert a basic report to an SQL query so I can take the general essence of a report and customize the query to take it to the next level? Thanks, A. Solomon.
Not easily.
Yeah, because I mean, you can, anything exports going to go to XML.
Yeah,
Which,
and you think about this, right? So you got the XML export. We've already done all the joins in the background on those basic reports. So those joins will have to be rebuilt in your SQL reports. So there's no easy way to do it, my friend. I'm sorry. Now I'm apologizing. We need to quit apologizing. Okay, sorry.
I'm sorry for all these apologies.
Yeah, we're really sorry.
That's apologies all the way down.
Yeah, there's no easy way, my friend.
Sorry about those guys. I'm getting remote code cannot be null on several stations. What is causing this? Thanks, Curtis J.
I have never run into that error.
Kind of. What are you running?
I'd say send in a ticket to solutions. That way we can get a better idea of what we're looking at, because I haven't run into that, and I don't know exactly what might be causing that without
Yeah,
knowing what's running.
Are you running PowerShell? Is it a batch file install? Yeah. So
This is
some
uncharted
details. Send that
territory.
to support. Yeah. Don't know on that one. I'm sorry.
Looks like Kelly was right.
Let me apologize in advance. No. Hey guys, is it possible to deploy any package in a particular IP subnet / VLAN? Gopal, you.
Is it possible? Yeah, I would do it. Okay. If you're going to do this on a regular basis, you can build a dynamic collection that looks at subnets. That's how I'd do it. Jordan? That seems to be the easiest, right? Computer.
Yeah, no
IP,
reason to reinvent the wheel. I think that's the
I'm
way
going to
to
call
go.
this out if Jake's not.
contains. Boom. There you go. Go for it that way. That's how I'd do it.
You center that.
Can I center that?
That's too late.
Yes, I can, but the answer's done. There you go.
Yeah.
I just went wider.
That's how I do it. Dynamic collection.
Hey guys, how do you recommend reporting on what systems need Windows and application patches? Thanks, Michael Anthony of Van Halen. Oh my gosh, that's cool. Sorry.
He pivoted. He transitioned.
Yes, he did.
I'm a David Lee Roth fan as opposed to Sammy Hagar, but oh, that wasn't the question. So
Or the guy.
Or the guy.
now I forgot what the question was, and I can't read it, Kelly. It's too dark. So what was the question again?
The question is, how do you recommend reporting on what systems need Windows and application packages?
All right, this is an easy one. So if you look here, right, all our collections, if you use this naming convention where you put old and latest on all the machines, okay, when you look at a computer, if you go to the collections table, it's every collection that that machine's in. So all you have to do is go to reports, new report, basic report, computer name, and then you go and it's member of collection name, and then your filter is going to be member of collection name contains that old, right? And then if you're super cool and you name it the first time, you don't have to do it after you save it. We'll call this old apps. We'll run it against all machines. And then I like to group by computer because I want to see who's the worst of the worst. And so ABBA has 4 applications that need to be updated. There's the cumulative update and some Visual C, so on and so forth. Apparently, I have been neglecting Bird Person the worst. There you go. So if you use that naming convention when you build your collections, build a report off those collections, and there you go, old apps. Easy peasy.
Gentlemen, in PDQ inventory, why do some remote users' IP addresses show up with our VPN Client Subnet 10.212.134.x, which I can then deploy software to, but others' IP addresses show up as their local IP address from their home router 192.168.xx and not the VPN Client IP address? Thanks, Phil A.
I don't have a clue on that one. I figure if it's showing up on VPN, VPN's assigned an IP, it should be registering with your DHCP and DNS server. I don't know. Jordan, any idea?
No.
This is radio, dude. You can't just do the big eyes. They
No,
can't see.
I was taking a deep breath, thinking hard.
Oh, I still like the big eyes. Like, oh.
Yeah, so
I would-
mean, in the chat, there's actually, I'm going to go to the chat because
Yeah.
they have useful advice.
Yeah.
Looks like
Marcel?
Marcel says it could be network adaptive priority. Dagonet says it's probably based on which interface gets returned first in the list, because we do have test multiple
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
multiple IP addresses. So there's some things to help you troubleshoot. I don't know if it's going to help you fix that one. No.
Dear Jordan and Lex, are the Windows Enablement update going to be added to the collection library? Sincerely, Dino Martin.
Enablement update?
I'm behind the times on this one. I'm not sure what that is.
I haven't been doing packages in a long time. JJ, you there, man? Enablement updates?
So
I'm lost. No, sorry.
You're lost too?
yeah, we're all kind of removed from the process of which ones are being added after the fact. I'm looking in the chat
Oh,
again.
1909 and 2009 enablement packages?
So if it's like if the 1909 or 2009, if it's the same thing as the
Like a feature upgrade?
feature upgrade, then we don't add those. If it's different than that, but it's something that we need to add, we'll definitely talk to our packaging team and see if they've have plans for that one.
Yeah.
Oh no, it says upgrades 1903 to 1909 and 2004 2009. For that, in case for the future updates, we don't normally add those as for the same reason for the question we answered earlier.
Yeah, definitely check the community forum on that, on how to do that. But remember the caveats I gave you, okay?
Guys, can deploy uninstall our Adobe Flash all versions across all devices? Scott Baio.
Hey, Scott Bale. I think I got pink eye.
Welcome.
Oh, that's a, hey, anybody? That's
I don't
a
understand
South
that
Park
reference.
reference. Okay.
So
A bad
so
South Park reference, but okay.
It's Would you mix Worcestershire sauce with your embalming fluid?
Maybe.
So we do have a package in there to do the uninstall that should work for most cases.
You know, it's interesting. I found this, Jordan, when I did that, right? It uninstalled all but the Windows IE ones, I think. Let me pull it up again. And I will just tell you, my lab here, I have neglected, so I haven't done any of the Windows updates currently. So you'll see right there, Windows Embedded, those are showing up. So I think when you get your cumulative updates, it should take care of that, but the other should take care of the rest for you. Unless someone knows a better answer than that. I mean,
Well, when we were fiddling around with this one on doing the mass uninstall, we stumbled across where there's the exe versus the MSI. Our uninstaller does account for either one of those where it does use the uninstaller, but if you're using something like an uninstall string and you're specifying MSI, that's going to fail. But in this case, I mean, what's already pre-built should get most of it.
Yeah, sure.
Hey guys, is there any way to search for desktop shortcuts by their target? I need to remove some shortcuts that may have been renamed. Sincerely,
So desktop shortcuts are user-based, right? Because I
Yeah.
can have different shortcuts than you when I log in.
Yeah, so recently, I don't know, I guess recently is relative, but Microsoft has been trying to approach the user space as sacred similar to the way Linux has gone. And they've made it far more difficult to look at or mess with people's desktops. So that one would be, even with PowerShell, pretty difficult. They just...
Really?
Yeah,
I mean, okay, so you'd have to load the user dat, wouldn't you, to go look at those kind of things? I mean, it's pretty in-depth to go get that kind of information, I'd imagine.
Yeah, they've made it difficult by design at this point. I think it was so popular with Linux, it seems Microsoft is trying to, hey, we're
Do
cool
what
too.
people like? Wow, okay. Well,
Fancy that.
I don't know there's a good answer for that. You can try and do it with PowerShell. Just remember, if you're going to load user dats, be careful. They can.
And then Diagonal says you should be able to read shortcuts with the PowerShell scanner. I would be curious to see that one because every time I've messed with shortcuts or anything on the user, I'm mistaking shortcuts with taskbar. Never mind. Shortcuts you should be able to see just fine. It's getting me in a folder, yeah.
Okay.
That's my fault. I was thinking taskbar. Taskbar is very difficult.
Oh, okay.
to
That's
mess with.
Here.
that's more difficult.
Yeah,
to
that
do
was
like a
my
pin or a-
fault.
Okay, so look in desktop. Okay.
Yeah, so in that one, the shortcuts are just going to be in a folder under the user data. In there, you can go and search and grab all of those names.
Okay. What the guy in the chat said, not what Jordan said.
Hey PDQ gurus, is there a way to add and edit data for regular fields that aren't being populated by PDQ? For example, if I know the MAC address of an object, but you're not gathering it, can I manually insert it, but not remove the ability for the scanner to still scan the device and keep other parts updated? Sincerely, A. Solomon.
As far as I know, if you have the scanner on, those you can't manually edit. By design, because even if it is pulling up blank, the next time you scan, it's going to replace it with the blank information.
go. So that data is going to be updated with the last scan. So if you go overwrite it, let's say you go direct to the database and overwrite it, the next scan will put that in. So yeah, don't know there's any way you can do that specifically.
Hi guys, is there a way to create a dynamic collection in inventory that relates to a deploy schedule so you can quickly see what PCs are still outstanding and haven't got the success in the deploy yet? Many thanks. Love the software. Michael S.
Okay, looking against a schedule, no. I mean, if you're deploying, let's say you're deploying.
Does the history on the machine, on the computer table, is that something you can pull up in
You could look in deployment, but I mean that would be okay. So you go to, let's just pop open Allen Rails and look at deployment, so we can see everything that's been deployed to Allen Rails. In this case, I'm really good at deploying 7-zip 3 different times, right? So you could go look in that table to see what is missing. That won't relate it to a schedule per se, but that's what's been deployed. The other way is just you build a collection that says I'm looking for 7-zip and machines that don't have 7-zip, kind of like we've done, and see them that way. That's the way I'd do it. I'd build, whatever software you're looking for. These have it and these don't. And again, let me just show you how to do that because that filter's a little bit, can be a little bit interesting. So again, we'll just call this 7-zip. I know we've already got one of these, but I'm going to show you the easy way to do this. Application name, contains 7-zip. Okay, so there's everybody has 7-zip. I'm going to duplicate that, right click, go to duplicate. We'll go down here and rename this missing 7-zip. Now, here's the gotcha on these, okay? In regards to databases, you got a one-to-one and a one-to-many relationship. One computer can have one computer name, that's a one-to-one. One computer can have many applications. So if you go in here and change this to, give me any machine that has an application that does not contain 7-zip, I'm going to get pretty much every machine out there that has any software that doesn't have 7-zip in it. It's doing exactly what you asked. What you really want to do is go in here and think of this as a container because it's a one-to-many. It is going to go verify that against every application out there. Go find the ones that have 7-zip. Think of this as a container, but don't return me any from that container. And now you're going to get, these are the ones missing, in this case, 7-zip or whatever software you're looking for. That's how I would do it. That's a long answer.
Logic.
Before we go to the next question, I've been seeing in the chat a lot. People say the enable to deploys do work. They're rather quick, but you have to build them yourself. So I will talk to the packaging team and see if they have plans to add those. And if it's something we can do, then we'll have those in the package library shortly.
Okay.
Next question we referenced earlier in the show. I heard through the rumor mill that the beta is removing the requirement to install .NET 4.8 on all of my servers. When can I look forward to that in a release? Sincerely, Andrew S.
I'm going to go with soon, which is vague, right? Honestly, I don't know, guys. We got to make sure it passes.
Kelly, are you privy to that one?
I'm not. No, I wish I knew, but I don't.
I may reach out. I know the product manager or product owner behind that is out today, but
Yep.
we'll see if we can get that answer to you on the next
Kind of
podcast.
yeah.
So if the requirement is pulling back, then just the next major release will definitely have it. We just don't know when that's going to be.
We'll go with soon.
Yeah, we'll go soon. TM.
Soon-ish.
Soon.
Yeah.
Trademark.
Ish. Soon. Vague soon.
All right, 2 more questions and a comment. So, can you create a collection or report that only shows machines that failed a particular deployment? Dean Martin.
You know, this is where I would go. Okay, so you go to deployments and deploy all deployments. Okay, and then take a look here. Can we build a report there? Deployments, full summary. I guess we can go take a look and then group by some of these full details. Failed deployments. Do we record failed deployments in inventory? I don't think we do we?
Well, we have the success and fail result in there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've never gone and looked at the table, and I don't know if it stores, like if it was failed twice, was successful once, if it shows as just successful, or if it will show the failure still.
Failed here. I've only deployed 7-zip. I mean, you can do some filters here and see what's failed, and that's where I go when I look at deployments is deploy.
I mean, since it's in there, it's in a table somewhere. I just don't know exactly how it's stored, or if it's just whatever the latest one it is what shows up, or how we could mess with that.
Let's do this. Should we try?
Might
I'm gonna
require
go
some
abort
SQL
a
reports.
Deployment. And see if it shows up as aborted in inventory. Should we do it? Let's do it. Deploy once. We'll send it to Alan Rails because I can spell Alan Rails. Deploy now. It's running. Initializing. Step 1. Abort. All right. Inventory. Boom. Alan Rails.
I'm curious to see if this works because this seems like a very large test to do on the fly.
Yeah, I don't know. Deployments, let's see. Adobe Reader package failed. There you go. Boom.
Huh?
So, yep, you can go look in inventory. Anything that says failed, right there.
All right.
I love that. Learned something new today. Thank you very much.
The answer is yes.
Nice impromptu testing, Lex.
Excellent. Excellent.
Don't act surprised when it works. I meant that.
Hey guys, we've got some VSTOs and also .appref-ms programs that need to be installed but cannot get them to install correctly. Is it possible? Thanks, Michael S.
That's one that's probably best for solutions where they can dive in without knowing what kind of errors is happening.
need some details on that one.
Yeah,
What,
so-
what's specifically installing? What are you, what
So,
errors are you seeing?
I
Yeah.
think solutions@pdq.com.
Or support.
Support
at PDQ.
at PDQ.com.
You can send it to solutions. It probably bounce back. I don't
It's
think we got an
important to
answer.
give the proper address.
Yeah,
Send it to
support at
Fastly.
PDQ.com.
If it is possible, I am confident that they can get you there.
Absolutely. Amazing team.
Final submission of the day.
Yes, final, not question, but comment. Guys, can I just say I love PDQ products. Thanks for all you do. A Solomon. Thank you.
Well, we're leaving on a high note. I actually did a test live and we got a compliment.
So, despite all of the questions we didn't answer, we still end on a high note.
I love that.
I like it. I like
Just
our
say you're
products, too.
welcome and be done with it.
I'm a big fan of our products also.
Take the
Surprise.
compliment.
Hey guys, thank you, for submitting your questions. We couldn't do PDQ&A without, obviously, you guys. So thanks much. I'm Lex. That's Jordan.
Thanks for joining our webcast today. Congratulations, Steve L. and Mallory P., winners of PDQ swag. Send us your info at webcast@pdq.com. Thanks again for joining us. If you have any additional questions, feel free to reach out to our support forums, and we'll see you back here next week.